Sanbonani, welcome to the Impact Talks at World Gospel Impact Church. My name is Nolwazi Ngubeni, Strategic Partnerships Lead at TikTok. Now, through my line of work, I have seen a lot of young people grow within the digital space, grow from just being creating user-generated content to paid-generated content, which means now that they get to monetize, make money, partner with brands on the content that they create. Now, based on this, I actually want us to go back to the foundation of what all of that means, what being on the web means, the laws surrounding it, and what you can do to be able to protect yourself. Introducing to you Digital Citizenship, just a brief walk through the digital space. Let's define digital citizenship, right? First of all, it's the responsible use of technology. You are responsible for the content that you put out, but also the content that you consume. We'll get into all of these details a bit later on. There's also the etiquette pertaining to an online presence, how you carry yourself, what do you say about yourself, what do you suggest about yourself in the content that you create, but also what can be tracked about you within the content that you consume. It also includes the behaviors and responses to others within a digital community. It's not just about what you say, but it's also about how you respond to other internet users as well. Let's go through just the elements of citizenship, right? First of all, it's digital access. It's the ability to connect with others or access information using the net. That's basic, right? It's using Google or Google Scholar if you are a tertiary student, but how you can be able to access additional information, do research online. There's digital etiquette, treating others or other internet users with respect and avoiding inappropriate behavior. There are consequences now to cyberbullying. It's not just vibes anymore on social media. There are actually now laws which have been put in place, and you can now be criminally charged if you bully someone on the net. It's also sharing inappropriate images. That could be in any form, right? That could be in nudity or even sharing someone else's images as well. There's digital commerce. We have seen big growth within Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook space, now allowing young businesses to be able to market to themselves, but also sell their products online, which reduces rental costs. The next one is digital rights and responsibilities. This is the privileges users have while using the internet. It's your freedom of speech. What can you say? When can you say it? When is it acceptable? But also not infringing on other users' rights to be able to express their voice. Digital law, the rules or guidelines set within an organization for using the internet. This is plagiarism, right? If you're a student, you will know that you cannot just copy and paste someone else's work. You have to reference it. There are IP laws which protect the owner's work. So if I create content and I put it online, someone else cannot copy that content and use it as theirs without referencing me. That is illegal. Then digital health and wellness is teaching students, anyone who uses the net, on how to protect their psychological and physical well-being while using the internet. This is something as basic as reducing your screen time, right? So now let's delve deeper into these elements of the web or of technology, right? So if we're looking at digital health and wellness, first of all, manage your screen time. You have to create a balance between interacting with technology and interacting with humans. We spend so much time on our phones, on our devices, that we actually are no longer nurturing one-on-one human relationships. It is such an important part of our social well-being, but also social growth, just to be able to converse with someone. We can't forget those basic life skills just because we are so glued to our devices. Promote physical activity. Don't just stay on your phone. Be physical walk around, play sports. There's many things that we can do outside of just using our screens, also to reduce health risks, right? Just staying on your screen we have seen an increase in child obesity because children from a young age now are just glued to their screens and no longer play and run around with other children. The last one is productivity versus technology. I will start with a basic example, right? You wake up in the morning, it's the first thing that you do is open your phone. Next thing you check, it's 3-4 hours later, you haven't opened the curtains, you haven't opened the windows, so you've spent so much time not doing something, but actually not being productive because you're glued to your phone. So you have to be able to watch, right? Focus on what is right. Prioritize your life, right? Prioritize homework, prioritize communicating with people, prioritize completing your work if you are a professional before you actually glue yourself to your screens. In terms of digital literacy, just a basic definition of this is having the skills you need to live, learn, work in society where communication and access to information increasingly through digital technologies, right? We now use our phones to be able to make calls, to communicate with people, to access information. This is now a basic skill that is necessary for everyone to have. It is also our responsibility to ensure that other people within our communities, within our families, know how to use these devices, understanding the importance of it. So digitally literate people, they know how to find and consume digital content, right? They know how to create it and communicate and share digital content online. They also understand the basics of internet safety, such as creating strong passwords. Now, this sounds a bit like, okay, that's such a, a no-brainer example, but there's a lot of cyber theft that can happen through not having the adequate authentication systems when using the web, right? Also understanding and using privacy settings, knowing what to share and not to share on social media, right? There is something as oversharing. Right? What are you sharing about yourself? What are you putting out there? Are you sharing maybe the school that you go to, what time you go to school, your physical address, your ID number, all of those things, even car license plates, all of those things can allow strangers to have access to your life that they shouldn't necessarily have, but also open its way to larger crimes being done on you, right? It also allows users to ask important questions about the online content they encounter. It's very important. We see a lot of fake news that's being spread around, and then you have to be able to question when you see an article pop up or you see a post pop up, you have to be able to question, who sent this? Who is the source? What is this information that is being sent? And is it true or not? Otherwise, we'll end up consuming and believing everything that we see on the net. And then the last one is questioning people's points of views, lifestyles, right? We see a lot of people posting on social media, posting, brands that they are wearing, then we get excited. We want to wear those brands. We want to be like them. And then now there's been the advent of pages which are actually proving that those lifestyles people are showing aren't necessarily true. So what does that do? It alleviates the pressure that you have to live up to a certain lifestyle that maybe does not even exist. So you have to actually question and scrutinize the content that you see out there. Digital etiquette. These are the standards of conduct expected by other digital technology users, right? So just basic examples of inappropriate digital etiquette, which is speaking or texting on a cell phone while driving. These are things we learn. Masenza, okay, 53, but we see it on the road. It's very dangerous because then you are not focusing on the driving itself. Instead, you are focusing on your device, which then makes you lose focus on the road and could potentially lead to accidents. Carrying on a loud cell phone conversation when you are around people, take a few steps away, and have your conversation, but don't allow your private conversation to now interrupt that of a group setting. Texting while carrying on a conversation. I mean, for me, this is just something I would say is just disrespectful. Don't do it. If you're having a conversation with someone, pay attention to them, maintain eye contact, stay away from your device, and then using technology for bullying. Now, so previously, this didn't exist, but over the past year, there's actually been a law passed that you can be criminally charged if you bully someone online. So you have to be very careful about the type of wording that you use, whether it's fat-shaming someone or, saying something negative about someone, or that will even allow them to lose their income. These are things that people can actually sue you for, or that you can be criminally charged for. And then examples of now appropriate digital etiquette is turning your cell phone into silent or vibrate when you're around people. You can be at a cinema, at a church setting, but hearing someone's phone ring loudly during that time, honestly, just keep your phone on silent so that even if it rings, it is not interrupting everyone else who is around you. Then keeping your cell phone conversation private by moving a few feet away. We covered this one earlier, but also inform your adults, if you're a young person, of the misuse of technology. If you are being bullied, if someone is sharing information about you that is personal, that you don't want to be out there, ensure to inform adults around you so they can be able to actually take the necessary action. And then check for messages on communication devices during personal time. There is nothing as frustrating as trying to deal with someone who just keeps doing this the whole time. It ends up just deterring from what is important, what we should be focusing on. And then digital security, self-protection, right? So there'll be some of these which are on our devices, but we do not understand the importance of, right? So let's firstly define what this is. It's the resources employed to protect your online identity, data, and other assets. For example, a password, right? Now, if certain people might see you having a password, for whether it's fingerprint or you are scanning your facial features, they're saying, oh, this person has something to hide. Meanwhile, you are actually protecting your personal data against anyone around you that could possibly use it for harm, right? What is this information that's considered a security risk? First of all, personal identification data. This could be your identity number, for example. And then personal payment data. We now purchase a lot of goods online, so don't be very cognizant of where you are including your, your banking details, so that it's not completely out there and you are also protected. You are doing it within protected websites for you to be able to make those necessary purchases. Personal health data. There are medical aids now that have applications where you have personal information about your health, certain information that you might want to protect, ensure that that is protected. And then how to stay safe online. Don't open emails from strangers. So a lot of people being scammed, you get a strange link, you click on it, and then next thing, your information is being stolen or you're being kicked out of your social media platforms. Use strong passwords, right? And if you're going to use a password, don't use the same password for everything. Try and find a differentiation between the passwords. Like if you look at most sites, you will have, they'll give you sort of rules in terms of what to actually include in the password itself. Ensure to stick to those. Use two-factor authentication. This will also protect you from the scamming. What it does is, so after you've now activated your password, it'll then send you a one-time PIN, SMS it to you, to your phone, for you to be able to verify that it's indeed you who is trying to log on to this page. Be smart with financial information. Don't put your financial information anywhere on the web, but also back up your data regularly. Phones, laptops now come with clouds where you can be able to back up your information. Keep it safe so that should your devices maybe go missing, they're stolen or anything, or they're damaged, then you can be able to still attain that personal information that you had. Digital laws. Okay, let's first define it's the electronic responsibility for actions, deeds which are either ethical or unethical. These laws include intellectual property law, that's IP law, linked to what I explained earlier, that you cannot just replicate someone else's work without actually following the necessary laws, which could be referencing them or asking them for permission. A lot of these social media websites, once you create the content, right, it belongs to you. It doesn't belong to the platform itself. So should you find that that platform or even a brand is using your content without your permission, without purchasing or paying you for that content, you have the right to claim for payment for that content because you own it. It is your intellectual property. Privacy laws. Brands, businesses cannot share your private information with other brands without your permission. Harassment laws, cyberbullying, cyberstalking, that's illegal. And then more specifically, it's your data protection, cybercrime, which is fraud that can be done online, which is hacking people's personal accounts, and then cybersecurity, which is you ensuring that you are connected within the web, right? So these are all like really boring, seemingly boring things to know about the net. But you cannot use social media, you cannot use the internet without knowing them. Go back to the basics, know what is right for you ethically, right? Know what you are trying to gain from the platforms that you use, and then ensure that you are protected at all times on social media and on the web, but more importantly, respect it, as it's also other people's space as well. So the same respect that you would like to receive, ensure that you give it to other people. Thank you very much.